Chapter 7, Lesson 5, Percent of Change. You should remember our previous lesson on percent of change when we were working on our Grandparents' Day project. This is continuing from what we already know. Today we're going to find the percent of increase and the percent of decrease. You have three vocabulary words to add to your notes for today. Press pause, write your vocabulary, and when you're ready to continue, press play. Example 1. Find the percent of change from 325 to 390. The first thing we need to do is find out what the amount of change is. We're going to take our new amount, 390, subtract the original amount, 325, and that will give us 65. We write a ratio that compares the amount of change to the original amount and express the ratio as a percent. So we'll use the formula, amount of change over the original amount. The amount of change we got from subtracting the new amount and the original amount. So 65 will be the amount of change. The original amount is what we started off from, 325. So 65 over 325. When you change your fraction to a decimal, you'll get 0.20. Write the decimal as a percent by moving your decimal 2 places to the right. So 20%. The percent of change from 325 to 390 is 20%. You try. Press pause. When you're ready to continue, press play. Your answer should be 25%. If you are not able to get that answer, go back and watch example 1. Here's a real-world example. Find the percent of increase. In 1965, when John entered college, the tuition per year was $7,500. In 2005, when his daughter went to the same school, the tuition was $25,500. Find the percent of change. Let's subtract to find the amount of change. 25,500 minus 7,500 is the amount of change of 18,000. That was our new tuition minus the original tuition. Let's write our ratio using the formula amount of change over original amount. That's 18,000 over 7,500. Now we need to change this to a decimal and then a percent. 2.4, change it to a percent by moving your decimal 2 places to the right, so 240%. The percent of change is 240%. In this case, the percent of change is a percent of increase. Try this example. When you're ready to continue, press play. Your answer should be 113%. If you were not able to get that correct answer, go back and watch example 2. Example 3. Refer to the table shown. Which city had the least percent of increase in population from 1990 to 2000? A. Anaheim, B. Burbank, C. Monterey, D. San Jose. The percent of increase tells how much the population has increased in relation to 1990. Use a ratio to find each percent of increase. Then compare the percents. Let's start off with Anaheim. Find the percent of change by making the ratio amount of change over the original amount. That gives you about 25.3%. Now Burbank. The amount of change over the original amount will give you about 11.2%. Monterey. Eliminate this choice because the population decreased. We need increased. San Jose. Find the amount of change, put it over the original amount, and change your decimal to a percent. This gives you about 15.6%. Burbank had the least percent of increase in population from 1990 to 2004. The answer is B. You try. Press pause, and when you're ready to continue, press play. Your answer is D. If you were not able to get the correct answer, go back and watch example 3 again. Now we'll look at the percent of decrease. A $110 sweater is on sale for $88. What is the percent of change? Again, we're going to find out what the amount of change is by subtracting the sale price, 88, from the original price, 110. This will give us negative 22 as our amount of change. We'll compare the amount of change to the original amount. Negative 22 over 110 is our ratio. We can change our ratio to a decimal and then a percent. This gives us about negative 20%. The percent of change is negative 20%. In this case, the percent of change is a percent of decrease since it's negative. You try. Press pause. When you're ready to continue, press play. B is your answer. If you were not able to get the correct answer, go back and watch example 4 again.